What is up, guys? I am back with another video. We have a very important stock to cover today, one that all of you know and love. We are going to be talking about Palantir with their earnings coming up tomorrow on February 3rd. I do have a few important key metrics to go over before we do jump into the chart here. I will have my price targets outlined today along with my EPS and revenue estimates. Are we going to beat or are we going to miss? We're going to talk about all that in today's video. So very quickly before I get into the video, make sure you guys do like, subscribe, and comment what video you guys want to see next. There is a lot of important earnings coming out this week. So if you would like me to make a video on another company's earnings or upcoming earnings, I can definitely do that. But let's go ahead and get into their expected metrics. They are expected to report EPS of 11 cents, which is up 38% year to date. I think that should, they should really beat on that, and it really should come in a lot higher than 11 cents. And if it's not, I would be a little bit concerned, but I do think that they beat. I think it comes in around 15 to 17 cents. That is my guess. They seem to always beat by around 1 or 2 cents, and I think this is the quarter where they maybe separate themselves from that, and we do see a bigger jump. But 33% or 38% year over year growth is still pretty good. And then revenue is expected to be around 776 million, reflecting a 28% growth year over year. I would also like to see these numbers beat by a little bit. It would be amazing if we could beat and be somewhere in the $800 million range. But if we don't get that, I still don't think that's going to kill the company. I just think the better the earnings that they have, obviously are going to send the stock higher. But this is kind of an important earnings for Palantir, where a lot of people are saying that they are overvalued. I'm one of those people. I think it is overvalued. I think if you own Palantir, it's not a sell type situation, but I do not think this is an area where you should be buying Palantir. This earnings could 100% change my mind. I'll bite that bullet and I'll move on, but I do not personally think that this price is reflecting the valuation. I do think that, Palantir is probably worth around 45 to 65 right now, but, if people are really in this stock expecting long-term growth, they're definitely going to get that. So I think, holding here is no problem whatsoever. But their previous report did come in at 10 cents for EPS, so that's why I was kind of talking. I hope they do beat by a little bit more than that. Being up only 1 cent in EPS is really not that special when your company has been up 100% almost since your last earnings report. So you would kind of want to see that a little bit higher. And then the revenue for last quarter was 725 million, so that is being raised a little bit to 776 million, around $50 million. But I do think that we beat and raise on both of those. I do hope that their guidance is going to drive the stock higher. I think that is kind of what this move is going to be about. I don't think that the money that they report is going to be as important as their guidance. We're going to talk about that here, where they are going to be looking to continue their artificial intelligence platform called AIP, which there is their significant growth driver. And then also Palantir's government business, which accounted for 56% of their total revenue in Q3 2024, remains crucial to this business. I do want to talk about another part. There was rumors that they were in talks to get a $22 billion deal done with the government, and that may have been split with another company. There was also talks of that, but either way, 22 billion or around 11 billion is really gonna aid Palantir stock. So if they are able to release something like that tomorrow, I don't know if that's possible, but if they do, that will definitely be bullish for Palantir, and I'd be very surprised if their stock isn't up after hours after reporting something like that, even if their earnings do maybe miss by just a little bit. Another thing I do want to talk about is the market sentiment. Tomorrow, the market is definitely going to open red. This is why we will talk about, my little white line here that I have drawn out. It looks a little sporadic, but I do have a method to this. So we will go over that. But I do expect Palantir to open up and be pretty red tomorrow going into earnings. I don't think it's going to impact earnings by any means, but I do expect a big drop tomorrow before earnings. And then also, we have some analysts predict that Palantir, most analysts predict that Palantir will beat on earnings and revenue. That is just pure speculation, but I do like to kind of bring that into play. But moving on from the financials now, we're going to talk about the chart. There is a lot to break down here. I kind of have a scramble over here. I do want to talk about all of this in their separate ways. First, I do want to highlight this purple area here, where you do have this beautiful head and shoulders. This is very obvious. You drop down your head and your shoulder here, and then you're popping back up. Right now, you're kind of getting rejected by that 85.17 level, and then getting pushed back down, and then that will continue tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll probably open up around that $78 range, maybe that 75 or 77.50 range, something around there. I do expect to get down there at some point tomorrow, probably touch this 9 EMA or 21 EMA, and then maybe bounce before earnings. But what do I expect for earnings, guys? I expect a beat. I'm going to clear this chart up a little bit. After tomorrow's earnings, or leading into tomorrow's earnings, I expect to be red. That's why I'm showing this drop on my white line here. And then I do expect, earnings to be pretty good. So we beat here. And I do expect that to be around a 16% jump. If we do beat, I expect it to be around 16%. And if we do miss, I will draw out my targets for that. I do expect our target down to be around 16% as well, which would put us here. This is around 18%. I don't think we drop around 18%, but I do think that this just kind of lines up. So this will be my target for now to the downside. Let's go ahead and put this in red because no one wants to see that. But I do expect around 16 to 18% to the upside, and then around the same to the downside. I think if they miss, you're seeing around $65 a share, and if they beat, you're seeing around $90 a share. I'm very confident in that. There is really no doubt in my mind that this stock is going one way or the other. I don't think we're going to report tomorrow and then somehow just stay in this channel. I think this is kind of a no man's land right here. There is no way that Palantir will be anywhere in this yellow box tomorrow after hours. I really highly doubt it. It's either going to be above it or below it. This is the bearish case down here in the red, and this is the bullish case up here in the blue. But I'm very, very confident in that. I at least can look at the charts and see a bullish and bearish outlook. So I have that drawn out here with our targets being up to 90 for the bullish side, and then bearish down to that 65-ish price target. But let's talk about a beat. What if we do get a beat? I do have some price targets drawn out, and it's kind of funny enough that they all line up. If you do take this from right here, this is your breakout point on your head and shoulders. You can actually draw this up to your breakout point now, and you can see that this pretty much lines up with our 106.94 level. It's a little bit higher, but then you can also see that we have some other targets drawn out with our data price range here, which would imply a 38% implied move after the low is in tomorrow. And I expect that to kind of follow after earnings. This isn't going to be a tomorrow thing. This is going to be a few maybe 2 months from now or into next earnings, we will see that $106 range if we do beat. But we also know how Palantir goes. So tomorrow after hours, it could be 90, and then we wake up Tuesday and it's at 94, and Wednesday it's at 100, and so on and so forth. You know how Palantir moves. But I do expect a 38% gain if we do beat over the next quarter. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. And then I'm also going to delete my head and shoulders here just to kind of show you guys what I expect the price action to look like. I know this is a little ugly looking, but I do kind of expect something like this where we do drop tomorrow heavy around open and then pop after earnings. And then maybe Tuesday we cool off just a little bit back down to this 85 range where we have some support. And then we're retesting. And then I think we make our main move up to around $97, which is kind of going to be the big move of that earnings afterwards. It's going to be like, the follow up to earnings once everything is, leveled out. And then after that, I think we do find support once again. We kind of do draw back down. That may be all the way back down to that 85 level, but I highly doubt it. I expect it to be around that 90 to 93 to 95 range. And then you do continue up to that top target of $106. And then to the downside, we do have our levels drawn out. You're really going to be looking at that $65 and then $62 range. And then after that, you're going to be targeting down to your $55 range. And then below that, I would start to consider adding shares. If you could get all the way down there, I highly doubt it though. It looks like right here is going to be a heavy demand zone for Palantir. So I do not expect prices to really get below this anytime soon. I expect that to be a big area where analysts are buying this stock because I highly doubt even if they miss on earnings, their guidance is going to be pretty good, and it's going to be good enough where people are still confident in this stock and still going to grab this stock at almost any valuation that they can. That is why you have seen these prices rocket so insane over the last couple years. But that is really going to be it for me, guys. That is my main price targets for the both bearish and bullish sides on Palantir. I do expect a beat, and I do expect them to beat and raise. I expect price to be up after hours, and I am bullish on Palantir long term. I think this valuation is a little hefty, so I would go with calls here over shares if you are willing to risk that. Personally, I probably will not be, but I do totally support that decision because I am very bearish or bullish on Palantir here, and I do expect more room to the upside. So I will keep Palantir on my watch list. But guys, that is going to be it for me. That was Palantir's earnings predictions. We are expecting that beat, and we're expecting Alex Karp to hopefully not bang a table this time around and keep his sanity so we can have a pump after hours tomorrow and maybe save the market. But that is going to be it for me, guys. Make sure you guys do click the link down in the description below. It'll send you guys to our Discord, and then also like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and then comment down below what videos you guys want to see next. I can do earnings predictions, I can do market predictions, and I can do anything in between. We can also do some technical analysis stuff. Just let me know down there and I will get it done. But I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.